Okay, a very good evening to everyone. My name is Deepak and today I am presenting Scala JS to you. So in my slides I will be talking about why JavaScript and introduction to Scala first, and then what is Scala JS and why we should use Scala JS, and a quick demo of this. Okay, so why JavaScript? Typically to do web development without JavaScript it's not feasible, because of course we need JavaScript for web development. So because somewhere down the line we are dependent on JavaScript for front-end requirements. Also, it is very easy to edit, so and very easy to learn, very easy to debug, and it's a prototyping language. So this is all about JavaScript for now. And okay, so being a Scala developer, I hate JavaScript because I'm more into Scala JS, not much into JavaScript. Because what I want to do is I just want to write the Scala code and it will be converted to Scala JS, Scala code and it will be converted to Scala JavaScript actually. And because I hate those curly braces and semicolons now, so I do prefer Scala JS for that matter. Okay, so for now these three languages are there for which will be compiled to your JS code, that is JavaScript code. So first we have CoffeeScript, then we have TypeScript, and of course Scala JS, which will be converted to our JavaScript code. Okay, before I get into Scala JS, I would like to talk about Scala first, and then we'll be talking about Scala JS, what actually Scala JS is. Okay, what is Scala? Scala is basically a scalable language which makes it perfect to build small script to large and complex systems. So which makes it scalable language. A very careful integration of object oriented as well as functional language. So it is a mix of both functional language as well as object oriented. And the best part is it runs on JVM, so it is eligible for all the benefits which will be there using JVM, Java JVM. Okay. Apart from all these features, we also have implicit conversions for data type. So implicit conversions are there and user-defined data types are there in Scala. Okay, so now what is Scala JS actually? Scala JS is nothing but a compiler which will compile your Scala code to JavaScript. So it is basically a Scala to JavaScript compiler which was introduced back in 2013, which is 3 years back. So for those who think that Scala JS is experimental, that's not the case. It is not experimental anymore. It is being used for your production code as well these days. So it's not experimental anymore, we can say. It has grown up now in last quite a few years. Also, no need to sacrifice for JavaScript interoperability, because there is JavaScript interoperability with Scala JS, so it can easily match with the JavaScript code.
So we can write JavaScript code within our Scala JS code.
I'm sorry?
Like if I'm writing Scala JS code, I can mix that with JavaScript
Yes.
within the code itself.
Within the code, not exactly within the code. I mean, you will have the separate function for that. And suppose you have an HTML file, you are just calling a main function which is written on the Scala itself, and it will be called, and you can have your standalone JavaScript for that in your HTML page. So that can be combined. Otherwise.
But you cannot
Within
write,
the code,
you cannot write the raw JavaScript code in itself.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You cannot write raw JavaScript.
so that's how it is that Scala file.
You can write
gives-
just you can write a file to jQuery. They have a thing for it. उसको एक अलग ही import है. So for jQuery it is possible to an extent, but not for JavaScript.
But if I want a JavaScript file which has got some function in it, Scala JS code से उसको invoke कर सकता हूँ.
JavaScript file को I have not tried that, but the raw JavaScript code writing it to Scala JS.
Okay, so why Scala.js? It's a powerful framework for type-directed interoperability with dynamically typed languages. Also, it has got the support of Scala. So whatever you could do with Scala, you can do it with Scala.js as well, and it will be ultimately converted to Scala.js. And apart from this, it has got very powerful framework, and Scala.js comes to your rescue when you do not know anything about JavaScript. So being a Scala developer, you just want to write the Scala code, and everything is sorted out. Okay, so covers the whole Scala language. So as I said, whatever you could do with Scala, you can just play around with Scala.js, and you have your JavaScript file ready for the same. Okay, features of Scala.js: supports all of Scala, as said by me, and very good interoperability with JavaScript code. When I say interoperability, it can just go hand on hand with your JavaScript code, which is already there in your HTML file, and you have your another method ready, which is written on your Scala file, which will be called at your HTML page.
So I should be able to call it. Right? I should be able to call external functions from my Scala.js.
You will be, but that function will again be written in Scala.
You can call JavaScript function from Scala.
Yeah, that's what. Right? You should be able to do it.
Okay, apart from this, integrated with SVD, you can have SVD project for your Scala.js projects, and can be used with your favorite IDE for Scala. Let's say you want to use it with IntelliJ, you can go with any of the IDEs supports Scala. And generates source map for smooth debugging experience. Source map is basically a way to map your minified files, which are basically in a unbuilt state. So you can basically debug it, which basically holds the original files of your code. So you can actually go back to your code, and then you can debug the code. Basically the raw file can go back to.
So when I'm debugging, it will show me the JavaScript functions. Like, what do you mean by debugging the raw file? What is that?
Debugging as in when the code is compiled, it has been compiled already.
So it will compile into JavaScript.
Yeah. So you can basically debug your that particular code because it's written in Scala only. You can debug it.
What does the source maps mean? When we say generate source maps, these are JavaScript source maps.
As far as I am concerned, it is a raw file which is there when it is not built. So you can just go back to your previous code and look what has gone wrong. So indicates Google Closure compiler for producing minimal code for production. It will come in the later slides when we do full optimization on our code. So it will just minimize the size of our file. So for semantic differences, to string on unit will return undefined rather than the source function. And exceptions are there because we have a long debate on these topics on the internet. I was just bumped into the issue which says that they are not sure about the this divide by zero problem was there, because when we say 1 divide by 0, it should return undefined according to Java, but it says 0 in Scala.js. So it's an issue on the internet. So I could not get into conclusion for this.
In Java, 1 divided by 0, that's an exception.
Yes, it was an exception. So
But
in
here-
Scala.js, when we say 1 divided by 0, it's 0.
it that way?
So
Why is it that way?
I tried to figure it out, but I couldn't because I was just going through the thread and I couldn't get to the conclusion.
JavaScript नहीं होता है, you do 1 divided by 0 by 0, undefined.
JavaScript interoperability is there, calling JavaScript from Scala.js, and you can just export Scala.js APIs, which is nothing but just a library to use, which can be used to write your Scala.js code. So, and these are some of the primitive Scala.js types. For date we have js.date, and for regular expression we have js.regular expression. And for array, similarly for arrays we have js.array, and likewise number, boolean, string, and undefined for that matter. And these are some of the implicit conversion which takes place inside the Scala to JavaScript, Scala.js to JavaScript. Byte, short, int, long, float, double will be converted to number, and the rest of the data types like boolean will be converted to js.prime.boolean, and similarly for string it will be js.prime.string, and likewise for array js.array. Okay, so defining JavaScript interfaces with traits. So we have a function in JavaScript, like we want to play around with the window. So what we can do is we have a trait that is js.object. We can just extend it and play around with the window. Then we can text again a trait, and we can just define the methods like document, location of the window, and inner width, height, and similarly that alert message which pops out when we want to do something on click or something like that. Open close of the window, like I want to close the window and I want to open the window, so it's very much there. Okay, calling JavaScript with dynamic type, we can have dynamic element rendered on the page. For that we can just excuse me, a variable that is document. So it says it basically imports js.dynamic.global.document, and with this document I can just call the get element by id, and that is playground for now. So when I say document.create element, I want to create a p tag which will have some data like I am trying to display over here is hello world. So when I say playground.append child, it will be automatically appended to this particular ID which is playground. So append child I'll have a p tag along with this playground ID. So it will be appended to the element.
What is the data type of playground going to be?
Playground. Document.get. It's an element.
Element.
DOM element. It is created like
I understand DOM element, but I was just curious, is Scala.js like what is the data type that is used for that?
DOM dot
Basically-
maybe HTML type would be there for this element, right? HTML type for this playground element.
Yes. But it's again, according to your DOM structure. So you have your elements in DOM structure. So now we have two ways to basically call our main function. So we have an object that is hello world. So we for first part I have js.export. Either I can go with @JS export annotation, or I can just simply extend js.js app interface. So these are same. JS export, it is basically an annotation. It tells the compiler to make the method callable from JavaScript. So
Method callable from JavaScript.
Can you go to the previous slide? The syntax you have written here, the first line is totally different. That is in Scala.js.
this one,
Yes. The JS or dynamic.global.document, and rest of the lines are same in JavaScript.
Yes.
So Scala JS doesn't have a different syntax than JavaScript. Because why we will compile this to JavaScript? Because it is already in JavaScript.
But over here, the import which is JS or dynamic, it is not there in your JavaScript. So it's kind of similar to, not all, but somewhat similar to JavaScript. Because you need to have some understanding of JavaScript in order to write. Without any understanding of JavaScript, you cannot just go along with Scala JS. You need to have some understanding at least.
But
Of the
here
idea.
you are getting the type safety, right? Like if you forgot to add any dot or any comma, you will not get any compilation and JavaScript.
So when we talk about Scala JS, it is basically, it is Scala, so it is statically typed. So your type will be checked at the compile time, okay? And your JavaScript is dynamically typed. So when you making any mistakes, so it will be known at the runtime. So which is not the case with Scala JS.
We are talking about syntax mistakes.
Yes.
But we have plugins like lint and something else that we can check the syntax while writing the JavaScript.
So what is the syntax? See, like in JavaScript, if I define an x, x could be anything, right?
Yes.
Say in the current instance it is string, in the next instance it becomes an integer, in the next one it becomes something else. So here that would not be possible. Here, so the reason why Scala and Java they are statically typed or strongly typed is that at the time of compilation itself, you know what is this variable and you cannot change it going further.
Also you get type safety.
So Ruby, Groovy, JavaScript, these are dynamically typed. So you can like change the data type of a variable depending on where it is.
You just say
Changing
where
data type of a variable can also be verified by using the plugins like lint. If I write val a equals to 1, 2, 3, then again I write a equals to string.
Yeah.
So that will automatically tell without going to the next line. It will say there is an error.
So that's what.
But in JavaScript that's not an error. That's
That's an error in
acceptable.
JavaScript.
That's acceptable.
No, that's
No,
not.
it is not an error. It is what lint is telling you as a
Yes.
warning. In
That's not an
JavaScript,
error.
JavaScript is dynamic. So JavaScript, as it is, the code will work fine. The tool that you are talking about, linting, the lint would tell you that okay, there is a warning, you are changing the data type. But you could ignore that. Like JavaScript is not going to complain. That is how I know it.
Basically in JavaScript you do not have to you do not have to have a type for your variable. You just say variable x and you can just have anything. You can have string, you can have number, and then you can assign a string. Suppose you are having var x, you say nickel, and then you have var x, you have 1 to 3. That's not possible in Scala because when you say val x equal to string, it has been defined as a string. So you can you cannot change it to number. So that's where Scala gets the action. So it's all about types.
Just for the knowledge, if I am asking and I am writing a code and I have written val x equals to 1, 2, 3, and in the second line I am writing x equals to string. So that is telling me that this is an error and x is already defined. We cannot use it and convert it into the string. So I am knowing that error is still.
No, you are doing the error, but who is telling you that error?
My IDE is telling me.
Your IDE is telling you. This IDE has got that plugin which warns you about the change of data type.
Yes.
अगर यही वाला कोड हम सीधा जाकर ब्राउजर में चलाएंगे ना, ब्राउजर नॉट गोइंग टू कंप्लेन बिकॉज़ जावास्क्रिप्ट बाय डिफॉल्ट इट इज डायनामिक. So I think IDE is trying to push you in the direction of better programming practice. That is why it tells you that okay, you are changing the data type, you want to do that. But JavaScript inherently is not going to complain.
Also having a linked plugin with your IDE, it won't make your JavaScript scalable. Of course,
Would not be what?
it won't make it scalable now because Scala is making scalable.
What do you mean by scale?
Why not just making it scalable? I'm just checking
No, I'm just trying to say is that you are getting the power of Scala with Scala JS.
That is the main point.
Yes. Okay, so how do we do the SVT setup for our Scala JS code? So basically, what SVT is, I guess you all know about SVT, so I don't need to go into all this. Basically, an open source build tool for Scala as well as Java projects, and you can come compile, run, test your code using SBD. So it's basically a tool. So that's how you get. You just need to load the add SBD plugin. You just say Scala.js plugin is there, and Scala. You need to do some Scala.js settings in build.svd Scala.js settings. So if you're using build.scala for that matter, you can import Scala.js SBD plugin to get it going. Also, when we say SBD compile, this will generate the .sjsir and .class file for each class of the project. It is basically the direct output of my Scala.js compiler. So, which is very heavy because it contains all the features of Scala, like your, the plugin we are using in Scala and all the dependencies. So, it is about 20 MB in size.
What is written in SJSIR file?
I'm sorry.
What is written in SJSIR file? .sjsir.
Basically, it contains the Scala code as well as all the functionality.
It contains the binding parameters of
Scala code.
convert the Scala.js into the binary JavaScript code.
So when it comes to optimization, we have two options, that is fast optimization and full optimization. So when my code is converted to SJSIR and .class file, then I say fast optimize it. So it will be, just bring down the size of my code from 20 MB for let's say from 20 MB to 1.5 MB something, which is very huge for code like JavaScript codes. So fast optimization, what it will do is it will just convert. When I say fast optimization, it will just convert all the files into one single JavaScript file. So that's how it is done. And when I say full optimize uses some Google Closure compiler, so which basically makes your JavaScript file much more smaller and faster.
So how you are making the file smaller and
Because these two fast optimize and full optimize, these are basically JavaScript files which are run.
मैं डेवलपमेंट मोड के लिए फास्ट ऑप्टिमाइज का यूज़ करते हैं, कंपाइल करने के लिए। प्रोडक्शन मोड के लिए हम फुल ऑप्टिमाइज का यूज़ करते हैं। डिफरेंटली फाइल ऑप्टिमाइज करके प्रोसेस कर देगा। अगर एक हम 10 MB की कोई फाइल होगी तो फास्ट में अगर फॉर एग्जांपल 6 MB में कन्वर्ट कर रहा है तो फुल ऑप्टिमाइज में वो 3 MB में कन्वर्ट कर देगा।
so bundle it will bundle all the JS files in one file and minify it. So do we have to run any command for that or it will create automatic command?
We need to
एक फाइल बनाता है पूरे प्रोजेक्ट की
Bundle
एक
minify.
फिर भी एक
हाँ single file.
single.
क्रिटिकल होती है या
Next is minified file readable.
Not human readable. Machine readable. So that's how we do when we say SBT fast of JS. So it will fast optimize it, and we would be able to see our code, which will be our index HTML file, which will be there in our target folder. So we can just see the output in the browser itself. For full optimization, we have got the code full of JS. So when I say full of JS, it will have full optimization on it.
This is something that we should be able to define in our build.svd. But ये हमारे पास थोड़ी ना करेंगे SVD वगैरह। At least we should be able to put a command within our SVD.
So we do have it in our HTML file.
In your
Just show it to you.
in your HTML file.
HTML
HTML.
HTML में Scala.js, full of JS and
so काम जो कर रहे हैं ऑटोमेटिकली फास्ट ऑपरेशन होना चाहिए।
we should be able to put this in build automatically.
इसकी एक वर्क बेंच एक आता है स्काला रजिस्टर करके, इसमें हम नेटवर्क एबिलिटी में ग्रुप करेंगे तो ऑटोमेटिकली जब भी चेंजेस करेंगे वो कम करेंगे। मतलब एक बार चलाया मैंने जैसे प्ले में नहीं कर रही थी कुछ भी कुछ भी हम कंपाइल कर रहे हैं तो अपने आप लोड कर देते हैं जैसे चेंज जैसे
इट इज सेम लाइक
दूसरी सी बात कर रहे हैं।
सर हाँ वो डिफरेंट हो, मतलब वेब वो जो सर बोल रहे हैं जो ब्राउजर में आप बोल रहे हो कि वो अपने आप ऑटोमेटिकली कंपाइल हो जाएगा, उसके लिए वो दूसरी स्क्रिप्ट।
ब्राउज़र रिफ्रेश हो जाएगा।
नहीं, जो ऑप्टिमाइजेशन है मेरी रीसेंटली तो नहीं डालूंगा मैं जावास्क्रिप्ट में, हमें तो केबीज में चाहिए जावास्क्रिप्ट या फिर यू नो लाइक इफ एट ऑल 1 MB। तो ये वाला जो ऑप्टिमाइजेशन है, दिस इज व्हाट इट इज डूइंग, इट इज एक्चुअली रिड्यूसिंग द साइज, इट इज रिमूविंग स्पेसेस, इट इज डूइंग द मिनिफिकेशन व्हाटएवर। पर वी वुड नॉट बी रनिंग इट लाइक दिस। मैं हर कंपाइल से पहले इसको ऐसे रन थोड़ी ना करूँगा। अल्टीमेटली इट शुड बी अ पार्ट ऑफ माय कंपाइलेशन प्रोसेस।
तो ये मतलब विदाउट एस्पेक्टिंग सेटिंग होता है
वही कुछ
Yes, I think so. Launcher is there and all
कोई
this.
भी ज़्यादा मतलब 5 मिनट की डिस्कशन पे
ये से जब टिकट करेंगे तो हम एसपीटी रनिंग जाएंगे तो उसमें के कमांड को चलाएंगे। विदाउट
हाँ।
एसपीटी मैंने डाल दिया तो एसपीटी रन चलाया तो वो फास्ट अगर डाला तो फास्ट चला तो उधर
ठीक।
But abhi, like when we are running our project, we just saying SBT run. So all these command, fast optimization, full optimization, it will be done in the
You are
background.
providing it in your
Yes.
build.
So we have some settings for those things in our build.sbt. Main fast of JS, and we also have launcher JS, which basically runs our main file from the Scala code. We have a main class, so I'll be just saying our package name and main class, so that I'll be able to run my Scala classes method. That is me.
For a single project, one JS file would be formed. Like for example, I'm having my single project, and for that corresponding JS file would be formed. Suppose I am working on an application where I'm having 3 views,
Okay.
and for that I need 3 different JS files. So I have to make 3 projects for that. But one project will be means 3 files will be formed. Different JS files will be for each model, or a view will be formed from that.
I didn't get your question. If we are having, we can only have one main file. Sorry, one main function.
No, it's like okay, we can have an
Yeah, of course we can have 3 views, but
basically a project which is made using it, it will finally it will generate a .js file. Okay, now I am having my like Angular application which I am having 3 different views. Okay, and for each view I need a different .js file.
yeah, absolutely.
So for that I have to create 3 separate projects, or in one project I can generate 3.
No, why do you need to create 3 projects? You need to have only one project, and you can have 3
When
different.
I run SBD run, there will be one single new file and have a formula differentiate for each view.
See, it depends on your function. When you are launching a main function, you will always have a script associated with it. So you have your package name, okay, your object's name, and then you have your main whatever your function is. So that doesn't matter. So likewise, if you have one.html, you have separate script file for that. Okay, separate script tag for that matter. And for 2.html, you have separate script tag. Similarly, or likewise for any other HTML files.
एग्जाम्पल दिखाया जा रही है।
Okay, so let's go. I have got some examples for you. I'll just show it to you.
चल रहा है प्रोसेस।
So there was 10 minutes each, so there was
8 मिनट
8 minutes.
शायद वो गलत इम्पोर्ट कर लिया तुमने। वो तुमने रूट है उसकी प्रोजेक्ट की रूट डायरेक्टली सीधा प्रोजेक्ट पे क्लिक करके ऐसा ही कुछ अगर गलत नहीं समझ रहा था तो कंफ्यूज हो गया। एक बार ओपन कर हाँ अब देखो नहीं ऐसा कुछ है शायद।
Like this is my Scala file. So where I'm using JS export instead of JS.js apps. So I have a main function which says I'm targeting to a div which has got an ID target, and I have an HTML file which says I want to call main function from the package example, and my object name is Scala JS example, and I'm targeting document.get element by ID. By saying this, I'm targeting a div which has got an ID target. So everything which will be created, that will be inside this particular div, So it will be generated inside this only. So when I say target, just show you the code in this one. When I say only this target.inner HTML, and in this target I want to write a tag which is h1 tag, and I want to say hello world, something like that. Hello world. So I write SBT.
This will generate the JS file first, and we will be able to see that JS file.
It says successful. Should be able to. So it says hello world. So now when I make some changes to this particular thing,
Where is the JS file? Where is the JS file, the compiled JS file?
एग्जाम्पल फर्स्ट ऑफ JS
क्लिक कर
यहाँ पे सोर्स है डिवाइड
तो इसने कोड हटाया गया है, बाकी सारा कोड पड़ा होगा।
नहीं पर
हाँ।
जनरेट तो दोबारा हुई होगी ना
और
सर, मैंने run
कमेंट किया था बाकी कोड तो कमेंट
हाँ
पहले एक इनर एचटीएमएल वाला एक तो
डिलीट कर दीजिए
कमेंट वाला तो पंगा है, कमेंट वाला तो कुछ पंगा है, वो कमेंट हटा के देखो।
कमेंट
कमेंट वाला हटाना है डिलीट कर दीजिए
कमेंटेड कोड हटा
सारा फ्रेंड में अगर कमेंट पड़े हो तो उनको भी यूज करेगा
सारा जाएगा।
मतलब वो है
फर्स्ट प्रॉपर्टी फाइल में ऑलरेडी लिखी हुई है, वो ऑलरेडी क्रिएटेड फाइल है।
नहीं, जो उससे ऊपर वाली जो मतलब जो मैं HTML उसमें व्यू में यूज़ करूँगा
फर्स्ट प्रॉपर्टी कमांड चलेगी, इससे यूनिफाई कर
मैंने तो भाई बहुत छोटी सी फाइल बनानी चाहिए थी और हर बार
फास्ट ऑफ करते हैं तो फाइल नहीं बनती है
मतलब एक पहले क्लिक करूँगा फिर कंपाइल
हर बार जब फास्ट ऑफ
नहीं,
करते हैं
उसी फाइल में।
उसी फाइल में
तो नई फाइल बनती है ओवरराइट कर देते हैं
एक बार फुल करना फुल ऑप्टिमाइजेशन
इसको छोटा बोल रहे हैं तो पेज के इतने सारे स्पेस लगता है तो छोटा हो जाएगा
ये मिनीफाइड नहीं है, इसमें
हाँ ये
mini-
तो वेरीफाइड नहीं है
इसमें एक्सटेंशन भी नहीं है मिनीफाइड, वो कहीं और बनी है।
नहीं अच्छा तो मेरा कि वो भी होगी
हाँ,
वैरी क्वालिटी होगी
अगर कमांड है तो बननी तो चाहिए मिनीफाइड, बट ये तो मिनीफाइड नहीं है।
ये तो नहीं इसमें तो पता नहीं क्या क्या होता है ये बहुत सारा करता है
फास्ट कर गया, फास्ट
बहुत फास्ट करेगा
फिर पास भी एक मिनट है।
कैसे हटाते हैं
अरे
अभी यहाँ पे बनी है ना वो जो एग्जाम्पल opt.js लिख रहे हैं वो वाले दिखाना
सिर्फ यहाँ पे बनी है फुल्ली ऑप्टिमाइज्ड।
हाँ वही वही दिखा रहे हैं उसकी तेरे टारगेट निकला है ना
हाँ,
कई चीज़ दिखा रहे आईडी से अब
ये
आगे
सेकंड लास्ट इससे ऊपर
मैप तो बनता है
ये वेरीफाइड है इस पर इतनी सारी क्यों है
और भी कुछ लिखा है जेएस फाइल में।
हाँ
वो जो जेएस फाइल बनी है ऊपर एग्जांपल फास्ट opt.js, उसमें काफ़ी कोड है, सबको कंपाइल उसमें किया वेरीफाइड।
फिर कमेंट कर देते हैं ना बहुत सारे कोड
नहीं, जेएस कोड कमेंटेड नहीं है, HTML कोड कमेंटेड है ना।
सर वो पहले से लाइक मैंने इसमें रन किया है ना ऑलरेडी, वो बिल्ट है ऐसा इसलिए आ रहा है।
और जो कमेंट कर दिया तो फिर नया वाला बिल्ड होना चाहिए
ये काम होता है, जो जेएस कोड यूज़ हो रहा है ना उस फाइल में, उसको उससे रहने दो, बाकी
अच्छा ठीक है वेरीफाई तो कर दिया एटलीस्ट चलो थैंक यू